What up, Juggalos and Juggalettes? It's your boy Almighty from Faygoluvers here with another exclusive from Pomona with Love. I got the one and only Cold 187, aka Big Hutch, and I just want to send a big thank you to Big Hutch for doing this, and Mike over at Big Shot Music for setting it all up. So, Hutch, how you doing today, brother?
Man, hanging in there, brother. You know what I'm saying? What's up, all the Juggalos, Juggalettes? You know, we do it. What's good?
That's what's up. So we're going to get right into it. First question that we have is, how'd you first get started into rapping and production side?
Well, originally, I started with Easy and NWA. And I started with my group of Brother Law, basically, back in 1990. I did a record on Ruthless Records called Living Like Hustlers, which was executive produced by Eazy-E, put out by Ruthless Records, you know what I mean? And from there I started, producing in the Ghost with Dr. Dre on some NWA stuff and Eazy-E stuff, and just co-producing and producing my own group above the law, through the history of it, and then I landed, a bunch of other projects, a bunch of soundtracks. I ended up producing Tupac, Snoop. I mean, list goes on, So,
how'd you first meet with Eazy-E and get signed to Ruthless Records?
Yeah, in '89, I did a demo on Above the Law, which a good friend of mine, which was Layla, which was a writer at Ruthless Records, ended up submitting my music to Eazy-E and Dr. Dre, and at that time they were starting to build a roster for Ruthless Records, which I think they just dropped. They put their fan out with the Supersonic situation, and then they were developing Miss LA and developing the DLC, and then they made us become a part of the roster as well. So that's how it all began. I gave a friend, a friend of mine gave another friend of ours that worked with Eazy-E the demo tape, and back then it was cassettes,
Yeah.
CDs. So, and the rest became history. Then the birth of Above the Law. So,
When you were working on Living Like Hustlers record, were you working with Dr. Dre closely on the production side, or was he kind of?
I actually developed the whole record along with the band. Before we came, it was like 85% developed already for us. All me and Dre did was we actually added like the last song, which was the finale song that we always had at the label, what everybody would rap on.
Yep.
And then we added the record that I produced and wrote for Pump Up the Volume soundtrack,
Nice.
which was Freedom of Speech. And one more joint I think me and Dre did together, I think it was Kicking Lyrics. It was like 3 joints me and Dre did together. The rest I had already developed on my own, and me and Dre we took it from, because some of it was 8 tracks, some of it was 16, and we bumped everything up to a 24 track, to give that quality, back then, could bump up. So, but me and him actually went in and reproduced the whole record, for us, like, we took all the elements that I had, the samples, the drum beats and everything, and recut everything. So, yeah.
What was
it was the put like this, the actual concept of Above the Law, and the whole the sound was developed already when we came to Ruthless.
right? So it was pretty much like the second coming of NWA.
Absolutely, because what Eazy-E wanted to do, he wanted to make another super group at the label.
Mm-hmm.
Besides NWA, he didn't want to do a lot of spinoffs of, just like, okay, MC Ren do a solo album, Ice Cube do a solo album. He wanted to make another group, at the label, to make the label be big. Because, labels are strong because of their roster,
Right.
especially back then, he wanted to kind of powerhouse the game. So, that was great for the label, and we were all, we were self-contained, we were self-produced, no one had to babysit us, basically. So it was like a win-win situation for Eazy.
When the album dropped, it was pretty much musically a sonic blueprint for the G-Funk era, and you guys were using words like ballin', before it became like a mainstream term. Did you guys know that you were onto something that would eventually become a trend-setting thing, or was this just like a regular thing for you guys?
Well, bro, it's funny you say that, because all we were trying to do was be a little bit different than NWA.
Right.
we knew that we couldn't really stand on our own if we were. And me as a producer, I knew that we had to do something different sonically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I knew we couldn't stand on our own. We would just be mirrors of NWA if our stuff was like spin. You know, the Sonics were a spin-off of NWA.
Right.
You know, so we actually, it just was really a vibe. And how we came up with the G-Funk situation was out of a few elements that we done on Living Like Hustlers. I decided to do things a little bit more funky on. We had an EP called Vocally Pimpin',
Mm-hmm.
and that was kind of the first in developing the G-Funk sound, basically, because I knew once people knew us a lot, I was like, well, when people start checking for us, we want people to really know full blown that we got our own sound.
Yeah.
You know? So I started kind of pushing the more melodies, pushing the more funkier grooves, way funkier than, you know, kind of what NWA was doing. Not no disrespect, but NWA was more like bang, bang, metal, hardcore beats and rhymes.
Yep.
I was more slow flow, funky, cool, fly, you know, and I wanted to stay on that. So I kind of started pushing the envelope towards the end of, you know, the development of Living Like Hustlers, and then I tried to get it really full blown when I did Vocally Pimpin' and then on the Black Mafia Life, which was the whole G-Funk thing full blown.
Big time. So when you guys first, you know, started blowing up, like, what was the first thing that you said, okay, now we've made it, you know? Like, you knew that you guys had the attention of the world at that point.
Well, I think, you know, it's funny because, like, you know, back then, SoundScan wasn't really relevant, but, like, I think we sold, like, 160-some-thousand records in, like, 10 days or something.
Right.
And back then, that's equivalent to an artist doing, like, platinum right now on the SoundScan, because everything was more mom and pop, you know. There was no, and they weren't scan stores. And at that point, I just, you know, I didn't feel pressure, but I felt like, look, man, you know, we really got something here, man, you know, beyond just the hype of NWA.
Yeah.
You know, we really had our own, you know, our own following, you know. So that kind of, you know, like motivated me to push the envelope, like I said earlier, you know. And when you make it, you know, it's like you're a sophomore jinx or, you know, whatever cats say or whatever. But I think that with me as a producer and the way I looked at it and us as, you know, reflecting on what we were doing or creating our own sound, I think that we were okay because we made it off of doing what we typically done. Mm-hmm. You know, we didn't make it off of gimmick. We didn't make it off whatever we said, whatever we positioned ourselves into the game. We did it because that's what we truly believed in.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a great thing about doing, you know, records. You know, back then you actually got a lot of respect for being diverse. You know, for being different, for going the other way when everybody's going left, or if we weren't right when everybody's going left, because that's what people expected from you. You know, anything else was considered being a fighter, basically.
Right.
You know, so, or jock rider, or whatever they say nowadays. I don't know. You know, I love it. You know what I mean?
Swag jacking.
I love making music in that era because people respected you for being different.
That's right. It was definitely the golden era of rap. That's for damn sure.
Right. Right.
What was your relationship with Jerry Heller like?
Well, you know, in the beginning it was kind of like this, and because we were handled by Laylaw, which had Law House Records at the time, Law House Production at the time, and he handled everything. As I grew into the industry, we became really close because I started becoming, you know, like when Dre left, I became Eazy-E's liaison. So I was always working with Eazy all the time. I was like his right-hand man after Dre left. I would oversee his records and all those type of things. So I got a more closer relationship with Jerry. At that point, that always was good. I mean, Jerry's a businessman, you know. Let's just be clear about all of that.
Right. Yeah, of course.
So, you know what I mean? And I can't say that we probably wouldn't have made it without Jerry, but I know a lot of our success at Ruthless Records came from the doors that Jerry Heller opened.
Right.
So.
What, have you heard about this Bone Thugs and Harmony song called Conspiracy, where they talk about Jerry Heller possibly getting doctors to inject Eazy-E with AIDS?
Well, you know, that rumor has always been going around.
Right, yeah.
I haven't heard the record, but...
Oh, you haven't heard the record? Okay.
It's been going around for a long time. I mean, the only only thing I will say about any of that, I think it's like any and everything that happens in this business, people always got to put a spin on something because they born someone or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard to say, you know, and that's a really great area for me because I respect and love Eazy-E to the heart. I was with Eazy-E up until he died. You know, I honor my contract. You know, we're one of the few artists that have done that, you know, with a lot of labels, you know what I mean?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I kind of see what everybody goes for when people die. They go for the tabloids. They go for, you know, so I don't know. I wouldn't believe that I wouldn't believe that to the degree more than, now I will say this, when you're a high-end person, there's a lot of people pulling at you. There's a lot of people that want to do you wrong.
Yep.
You know, so I can see where it comes from, you know.
What about the rumor that you beat up Ice Cube back in the day?
Oh, that's not a rumor, that's fact. You know, props to Ice Cube because we're friends now, but yeah, that went down. That sparked, you know, that actually was, now as I take you through the time, you know how, say, me and you are buddies coming up in the game, right? Now, we both make it, right? When you make it, I make it, right? Now, when I make it and somebody makes a statement, you know, someone made a statement that was in my opinion about, you know, we're not like Ice Cube, you know, we really grew up this way, and, you know, we talk about what we were affected by and being in the D game and all this and whatnot, right? Well, he took it to a whole nother level and kind of insulted me in the town that I come from, like, well, you know, you're a buster, and you know, you don't got it like that, and this and this and that. And the only thing that's happening in your city is the freeway that's going through it and whatnot. I took it to offense because I really was a street cat back then. I was young, you know what I'm saying? I was rowdy, you know what I mean? And I keep it 100, you know what I'm saying? Like, we family, let's keep it 100, you know? Yeah. So, you know, I stepped to him. You know what I'm saying? I gave him the 1-2. He threw him out of my dressing room, just like that. You know, I mean, the thing of it is like this, man. It's like, you know, with when you're dealing with the industry back then, it wasn't as regulated as it is now when it comes to hip hop. Mm-hmm. You know, and everybody was kind of like, you know, it's like, you know, coming to a barbecue or whatever. A concert was like a barbecue, you could say it like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like highly, you know, all this VIP and all that. You know what I mean? Right. So he walks in, we share words about it. You know, they weren't. Maybe there are things I can say on your show or in this interview or whatnot. Right. You know what I mean? But it was some words passed back and forth that wasn't really cool. You know, so. You know, when he entered my dressing room with those words, I gave him a 2-piece and a hot wing and threw him out the room. So, you know, it is what it is, and it escalated to the point to where when we went to New York and we tore up the New Music Seminar, it escalated to the point that we were NWA Hitman, and all this sort of stuff, and it really was just words being passed by two cats that used to be cool with each other. You know what I mean? Yep. So. And it escalated into a big brawl, tore up the whole 8th floor of the seminar, and craziness, you know. Right. So we were young, and, you know, the industry wasn't regulated. We kind of policed our own way because people didn't expect us to be in the game past a couple of years anyway. Right. So, you know, the other thing you asked me about is definitely a rumor, I believe, but that's not a rumor, that's fact.
No, that's great. We actually had a lot of questions come in about that, so it's good that you cleared that up for us. What about Dr. Dre? Have you been in contact with him at all? Like, are we going to ever hear Cold 187 and Dr. Dre collab?
I mean, I would love it, man, you know, but who knows what Dr. Dre is going to, you know, do. I've been in contact with him, but, you know, the thing about it is that, you know, half the time when I do contact him, it's like, we're about to do something, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he does that to everybody.
Yeah, so it's everybody. And like I said, you know, probably, the thing about cats like Dre is that Dre doesn't have to do it. Yep. You gotta respect the fact that he do it when he want to do it. But at the end of the day, I wish he would do something. Yeah. You know.
We all wish he would do something, brother.
exactly. So yeah, I've been in talk, so I talk more to, I actually talk more to them about, like, what's gonna go on with the reunion, or, from time to time and stuff like that, And I would love to, I love to do music, with the original family. You know what I mean?
Well, hell yeah, man. Like an NWA Above the Law reunion tour would, it would outsell everything going, period. Probably set some worldwide records.
Man, wouldn't that be magic?
Come on, man. It'd be phenomenal.
Who would not go to that? Right?
Exactly. You guys would have to do multiple dates in the same city, probably 1 week. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
But what was it like working with Tupac, man?
Oh, it's incredible, man. Tupac, it's funny because, when we were coming up, we were managed by the same road manager, which was Pac's manager, H.M. Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
He was our road manager. He was Digital Underground's manager as well, right?
That's right.
And we knew Pac coming up, so, we would always be like, we're going to make a record, we're going to make a record one day, like that. So, I never knew Pac would, I knew Pac would be as big as he is, but I never knew Pac would be like, people would be talking about Pac at a university, right?
Yeah, like he's an icon now.
I know he would be a phenomenal artist, and he's a great actor, I knew that.
Oh, yeah.
And working with him was so cool because he never was like, how some artists that, you might come across like, on that level that he is, he never was like had this, like diva status, like whatever, He was, and he could do it in his sleep, He'd always be just like around the way, like, oh man, let's go do this, let's go, oh man, let's go hang out in the club, and then we go back to the studio and cut a record. He was a cat like that, like, oh, what you doing today? Oh man, I'm gonna go down here and hang out for a couple hours, then I'm gonna go to the studio, and then we gonna go hang out a little bit more and go to the studio. He always was a dude that he put his work around his everyday life.
Right.
He wasn't like a cat like, oh, I need all of this laid out to be at a studio.
Right.
It's like our original studio that we recorded at. We had two studios that we had Audio Achievement, and we had the Edge Recording Studio, which was right in the hood. And he wouldn't want to go to the bigger studio. He wanted to go to the studio in the hood, right in Inglewood. He's like, man, let's just put it down. You know what I mean? Like, we'll go out party or whatever. Let's put something down. And the greatest thing about him is that his work ethic was impeccable.
Right.
He would work, but like I said, Pac would work for a few hours, go out to a club, go back to the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Around the clock, anywhere with a beat and a mic, it was a studio to him.
That's dope.
Boy could roll up some good stuff, man. Some good weed, man. All the time, man. All the time. That's Bob Marley nephew. But I love him though, man. I love working with Pac, and it's crazy because I never did a bunch of stuff with Pac, but I hung out with him more than we worked.
Right.
So I always was around him a lot. Him and Mokreen, his brother, I was just around him and Mo a lot.
Right.
But it was crazy because after he passed, I did his first record after he passed. I was music supervisor on the Killer at the time.
Right.
And I got to listen to like 100, maybe 200 songs, and had to pick 25 of the best songs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was music supervisor and I produced a couple of joints on there
as
well. I mixed the whole album.
Yep.
But it was crazy because just to hear the body of work, it's like, Pac was still here after he was gone. It's like, dang, man, this is crazy. I got an opportunity to, like, be with Pac again.
Yo, you must have had goosebumps, man, because some of those records you picked to be on there, like Ballad of a Dead Soldier, Letter to My Unborn Son, like, honestly, man, like, even when I just heard them, I had goosebumps. I was just picturing, like, yo, whoever, discovered these records must have just had goosebumps like crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy for me because I probably went, for that album, dog, I went to probably 10 meetings, dog. Like, I'm talking about consecutive meetings, though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm talking about, like, and it took me 9 days to mix that record.
Damn.
I did it, like, straight. I didn't stop, no breaks.
Damn. Yeah, you did a phenomenal job, man.
Running hot. I would go to one studio, approve this mix, I go to another studio, approve tweet this, tweet that, like that. I was just jumping around doing it. It was incredible, man. It was incredible. Like I said, I got an opportunity to show with my homie again,
No, of course,
man. Say, hey, once you make a record, you never die, so,
It's true. When did you decide it was time to do your first solo record?
I could hear you. Say it again, bro.
Oh, when did you decide that it was time to do your first solo record?
Oh, when did I decide to do it?
Yeah.
So it was actually after when I done Legends. Actually, I wanted to do it for years, but I kind of didn't want to do it without, because Easy had always asked me to do a solo record with him.
Mm-hmm.
And after he passed, I kind of didn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
When I actually was launching my record label, I actually had the time to do it because we were in transition doing some Legends, doing Forever Rich Thugs.
Mm-hmm.
Forever Rich Thugs was taking a long time, and I had a bunch of songs that I wanted to do, so that I would do like Late at Night, or and then I had like 3 different producers that I wanted to start developing. So I actually used them, and work with them to actually start building a stable of producers for Westworld Records.
Right.
So, and it came from trying to build a stable of producers in the transition of being in between and above the law record. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's kind of how that kind of all evolved, and it just turned into morphed into what it is today. Basically a business. Basically having because I think when you do something for a long time, and I tell the guys in the cruise all the time, I say, creating a label is an insurance policy.
Right.
It's like if we never have a label, we always got this. You know what I mean? If a label never finds us, we always got that. So that's kind of like was my main motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Just to build a stable of, and not have to like put everything out there, because Brother Law was self-produced. So
Right.
I didn't want to give everybody. I didn't want to give new guys that big of a responsibility first. Out the gate.
Right.
Yeah. So, and it kind of transcended into me just actually, finding different things that I wanted to do musically as well. So.
Yeah. What about how did you get your position at Death Row Records, being the VP?
How did I say again?
Oh, that's all right. How'd you get your position at Death Row Records as VP?
It's funny that you say that when you bring up the first solo record, Executive Decisions, because that's how I got it.
Right.
Because Suge saw what I was doing with Westworld, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna be down for a minute." And it was a phone call. He just called me. They just passed me through. He called the office, and they passed me through to my office, and was like, "Hey man, look, I like what you're doing. Why don't you come over here, and you could bring Westworld over here, and me and you do a joint venture, and you just run the label, and reset the label back up for me," because he really didn't have a guy that was a music guy over there at the time.
Right.
So actually, I was, I make a joke about it. I tell everybody, like, I was your substitute teacher for 2 years. I was babysitting your shit for 2 years, basically. But that's how I got it. It's from me and Suge, me and Suge was, partners because, he used to work with Doc at Ruthless, and
Right.
used to work with us on the road, doing light security and a road management as well. You know what I mean? So I always was good friends. I always stayed in touch with Suge through all the process of everything that had went down. You know what I'm saying? Even the big split with all of us. And he was like, "Yeah, I just need you to come in and do what Dre did at Ruthless and what you were doing before Eric died and whatnot, and just position myself like that." It was just a phone call, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't no drawn out, nothing. It was like, "Hey, man, I'd love to do it," because that gave me an opportunity to work with the Dog Pound, Snoop, and at the time they were kind of out the door, but he still had records on them that I could work with. You know what I mean? And it enabled me to get an executive position on a Tupac record.
Right.
So it definitely was a beautiful situation for me as the executive. On top of I was being able to help develop artists that were coming along, like the Crooked Eye and all the other guys that were coming along. And I wish I could have done records with Baz and Corrupt and Snoop and all that at the time, but they were kind of out the door at that point, So, but it was just a phone call, man, for real. Just 2 old friends chopping it up and making it happen on a business level,
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's good. What do you remember from your Uncle Willie Hutch, and what did you learn from him?
Oh man, well, it's crazy because like when I was young, my claim to fame was to be like that, to be a player, to be to be a musician.
Right.
You know, so and because my dad was a musician and a writer at Motown, and he helped my uncle write stuff,
That's
and
right.
he wrote for the Jacksons, and so the truth always around me, and I think my writing and my production comes from my dad, and my performance level comes from my uncle. Watching him. You know what I'm saying? Watching him. Because I always wanted to be a player at first, but you know how the 80s came and hip hop came, and I had to change my tone because it hit me by storm. But I still integrated the level of performance from my uncle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the way I looked at music was from my uncle and my father, from him being a player. That's what I kind of took from him. It's funny because really, honestly, my man, that's all I wanted to be.
Right.
Was an entertainer. I didn't want to be anything else. I played sports. I did all kinds of stuff. Well, I was highly influenced by my uncle and my father.
Right.
So.
Well, you're not
everything you see is their influences.
No, you know what? 100% I agree with you. But you're not the only one influenced by them either, right? Like you got artists like 3 6 Mafia, UGK, Outkast. Everybody's sampling them, right? And obviously the Mac was a huge influence on pretty much every hip hop artist, and the soundtrack played a huge role.
Right.
So it's definitely. How do you feel about artists, using your uncle's music and sampling it?
Oh, how do I feel? You said?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an honor, man. I mean, it's an honor. I mean, when I was growing up, the crazy thing about it is that my uncle, he really, he was like, don't sample. He was the kind of, him and my dad was the kind of, they were the kind of the cats who helped me integrate real music into it, for us, because they didn't really believe in that. They
Right.
believed in the musicianship part of it.
Yep.
But I think now, when people do it, it's like, I remember when people were sampling all kinds of stuff, it's like, damn, you sample a Willie Hutch record, it's like, thanks, man, that's incredible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No.
You pay homage to my family, like, I can't be nothing but honored,
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm in the we're in the likeness of, our family's in the likeness of the Trotmans, the Browns, and all those other great guys who got sampled, you know what I mean? So, I'm honored, man,
I'm glad to hear, man. I know, because definitely, when they, especially like the International Players Anthem, that was a huge record. I was really, really happy to hear that shit, man.
Yeah, that was great because it was right when he passed,
Yes,
what I mean?
yes.
Which was kind of, which was really, music lived forever, man. And, I like I said, I can't, there's a few things that I can say, like, oh man, 3 6 Mafia did this. I'm like, oh wow, and when that came out, I was like, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So when I've heard a lot of samples that people have used on my uncle, and it's like,
They didn't really do him justice, eh? Oh. Cut out. Alright, Hutch, why don't you tell us a little about Big Shot Music and what we can expect in the future from the label?
well, right now, I mean, just, steadfast on, focusing on the mixtape right now, right this minute, and, just got a few things, as far as the Westworld, we got, a nice little roster coming out,
Right.
to Westworld Big Shot. We got the Westworld Invasion coming out, with all the artists. I have a few artists that I've been handpicked and starting to develop right now. Couple of film ideas that I got coming, that's a couple of things that I've written that, I got coming. I don't want to say too much about it because you know how that is.
Yep, of course.
Because my next big step right now, people don't know, is, the psychopathic deal I just did, psychopathic records deal I just did.
That's right.
487, the psychopathic assassin. So I'm kind of like, with Westworld Big Shot, we're kind of, focusing on our artist wear now.
Yeah.
So.
I'm glad you mentioned the psychopathic thing, because that was the segue into the next whole batch of questions we have about that. So if you're ready, I'm ready. I'll get right into it.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. That's rough.
So just a little bit of a history lesson for anybody listening that doesn't know. So, Violent J and Shaggy's Hoot Up are really fond of Above the Law and Cold 187. And I mean, on W Fuck Off Radio, they used to play tons of Above the Law, and the one track that really stuck out to me that Violent J played was Gangsters and Stilettos off your solo record, Fresh Out the Pen. But, you know, a lot of people didn't know, but Murder Rap, you know, that was on The Wraith Shangri-La, a lot of people didn't really realize that's an Above the Law track. How did you feel when you heard about that? Did they reach out to you for permission to do the record? Like, how did that all work out?
Well, I guess they got to propose the beat because I heard it from a guy that was a staff member at my label. He was like, hey, you know, ICP did a record, you know, on the Murder Rap, you know, cover Murder Rap. It's like the dopest, you know, cover I done heard, like, you know what I'm saying? And this is a guy who's like been with me since the beginning, right? I was like, oh yeah, so I heard the record. I was like, that's dope because it's different, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the record, but it's a spin on it. And I think, you know, I come from I'm an MC, but I come from a musician's perspective, you know what I mean? So for me, when something is a little bit different and it's just as dope, I think that's incredible. Plus, when they use the basis of what you did, that's paying homage to you.
Yeah.
You know, not like they jack the record. They just, you know, it's kind of like the way they did it was so dope. I was like, damn, you know, they could be flipped like that. You know what I mean? That's art. You know.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really dope, and I actually, you know, would follow that, be like, you know, where they at, like, you know, and what they were doing. But I thought it was dope, man. You know, I thought it was dope because I think, you know, because thinking like a musician, I think that's what music is supposed to do. We're all kind of supposed to influence each other to some degree, you know. And whether we were, you know, because I'm influenced by Willie Hutch, I'm influenced by the Beatles, I'm influenced by Tupac at the same time, you know. I'm influenced by Eazy-E and W.A., and I'm influenced by Run DMC. You get what I'm saying? So it should always be extreme like that in times. And I think that we take that for granted as musicians and artists and writers or rappers, whatever you want to put, you know, whatever subtitle you put on it, that we are influenced by a lot of different things.
Right.
You know?
Do you, this might be news to you, but maybe it was a year ago now, Violent J tweeted that he wanted to make a supergroup and possibly produce the album. It would be MC Ren, Paris, and Cold 187. Do you know anything about this? That he tweeted about that?
Well, I mean, we actually was trying to put something together, but you know how that is. Everybody has those type of schedules. You know what I mean? Everybody had that, you know, that they have a workload.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard, and it's like, it's crazy because we always be talking about it, and he was like, well, you know, when me and him, you know, really started hooking up, because I was supposed to do The Gathering 2 years in a row, and, you know, one year I couldn't do it because my mom, she got diagnosed with lung cancer, she beat it, you know what I mean, so I had to be there, you know, with her going through the whole process.
Of course.
And, you know, last year, just when they did all the booking, it was a little too late, so I ended up getting on the American Psycho tour.
Right.
And about your question, and we even talked about it, I was like, well, you know, I mean, you said, what about, you know, you doing the record together? It's like, well, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, this extreme, that extreme. I said, no, you know, we can work something out, you know what I'm saying, we can figure out how to make a dope record together.
Yeah.
Which brings us into the Code 187, the Psychopathic Assassin, you know. So, you know, I would like to see if a super group come together, but I know how cat schedules become.
Yeah.
You know. So I know when you're trying to pull cats from different, you know, situations, it's really hard. That's a hard thing to do, you know.
But it would be the best thing since sliced bread to hear you three, you know, kind of come together like that. Just
you know,
yeah.
You notice in the sentence, I didn't say it would be whack. you know the reality of now that's a dream type of situation.
Yeah.
You know?
But it can be a reality, man. It can be a reality, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's fast forward a little bit. You did the record Danger Party. How did that come about? What did you think of the record? Did you guys record that together, or they sent you the track?
No, actually, they had finished the record already, and we just wanted to add me on it. And I was like, sure, you know, he just shot me the tracks. You know how everybody do records. Now, I think when they did Danger Party, I was actually working on, when they did Danger Party, I was working on Only God Can Judge Me.
Right.
So I couldn't come out and do it with them. So they cut it and they sent it, and in the midst of me doing Only God Can Judge Me, I cut my part on that record.
Right.
So, yeah.
What can we expect from The Only Solution?
Oh, man, The Only Solution is incredible, man. Where do I start? First of all, have the incredible, impeccable writing skills of Violent J, you know, for as setting up a synopsis that's like out of this world. You know, the synopsis that he wrote for the Psychopathic Assassin record is like, you know, I would say it's like Code 187 meets Boondock Saints meets James Bond.
Right.
It's that deal. Now, then you get me, the storyteller, you know what I mean, just ripping 12 of the hottest records that ever came out on Psychopathic Records.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So is it all ICP songs, or is it all ICP songs you're rapping over, or?
No. It's all of it's a collection of a lot of different songs off of the Psychopathic catalog.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. I mean, and it's one story that plays out through the whole album, you know, and the whole concept is that you have this killer, this young killer that grows up to become an assassin, right?
Yep.
And he goes on all these different hits, you know. Some of it's really controversial. Some of it is like, you know, like I'm taking out corrupt preachers, corrupt politicians,
right?
You know, flying back, you know, people that just do people fucked up, you know what I mean? And the whole concept of it is that this guy is not really, he's not Mr. Nice Guy, but he has feelings towards his own self, or he has his own demons that he's fighting with himself, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Through the whole project, through the whole story, you'll understand it. You know what I mean? As it plays out, but it's a great, like I said, it's one of the most great pieces of art I've ever done, and you know I've done a lot of pieces of art.
Hell yeah.
You know, so. I mean, expect, you know, when you hear this record is really the dope record. I mean, we pay homage to all the great records that were put out on Psychopathic Records, and we took it to the next level. So dig it. That's what you should, you know, you should know that me and Violent J is the real deal.
Yeah, it's a dream team, man. That's awesome, man.
After this record, you'll know, we're a great team. We're forced to be reckoned with right now.
Is this a one-album deal, man, or like, are you on the...
It's an ongoing, you know, Code 187 and Psychopathic Assassin is an ongoing, it's a trilogy. It's like, you know, right now, we're probably we're three in already.
Okay.
I mean, as far as the story is concerned, you know.
Right.
Because the great thing about the Psychopathic, about Code 187 and Psychopathic Assassin, the whole thing about it is that, you know, when I created the concept on the American Psycho tour, I wanted it to be like, you know, an ongoing thing. I didn't want it to be like, okay, I'm only going to do this one time and done. You know,
right.
Like how we just was talking about the supergroup thing. Because I really respect what they were doing at the label and everything. I was like, you know, this would be cool for us to do something different, you know, because I always look at the art factor of things, you know. Of course, you know, we're in business to make money and do our thing, because it is a business at the end of the day, but I always respect the fact that we can do things and still keep the artistic integrity.
Right.
You know, so I still want to do one thing and be like one and done and get out the way, you know.
Do we have a release date yet, or no?
For the end, my man.
Oh, do we have a release date yet for the album, or?
Oh, no, we don't have a release date yet. You know, but it's done. You know, record is done. We're just working out everything as far as, you know, the scheduling on everything. But it's gonna be soon, man. You know, you're gonna start hearing a lot of noise about. I mean, actually, you know, you get the fresh interview off of my mixtape off into this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I haven't even really spoke upon, you know, the Psychopathic Assassin, you know, project yet.
Right, exclusive right here.
This is exclusive, dog. But like I said, I want to come back on your show once it's out, you know, and do stuff with you once it's out, because it's a very, very nice piece of art. It's an incredible record. You know, the heads is going to go crazy. Juggalos going to go crazy. The gangsters, you know, the juggalettes, everybody going to go crazy.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
no, that's what's up, man. Is it true that it comes with a... Is it true it comes with a DVD featuring visuals for every song?
That's what we're working. You know, we're working out all of that right now. But I can tell you right now, it comes with a comic book right now.
Oh, shit! All right.
Yeah.
God damn. So.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, it comes with definitely some motion picture type of shit, yo.
Right.
So,
Oh,
so
shit.
we're working out all those particulars right now. So.
Damn. As far as production goes, brother, are you doing stuff for Mighty Death Pop? Are you going to be doing stuff for ABK, Blaze, Twisted?
Actually, I haven't done anything, because I've been focused on the Psychopathic Assassin record.
Right.
So far, and I done a couple of songs I featured on the Death Pop album, but I didn't do any production on it. You know what I'm saying? And, because I just been kind of focusing on writing this album and getting it done and popping it out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wasn't able to work because I want to work with Twisted and I want to work on Twisted new album right now. I'm trying to see if I can get on that record right now. So but. I don't know when Blaze or ABK, is slated yet. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but I love to. I love to work with everybody on the label.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal, man. What this one might get you in a little bit of trouble, but what was your favorite Psychopathic track to record to redo? If you can give us a little bit of exclusive knowledge there.
Well, like I said, I don't want to give it up. I want to come back. I want to come back, but like I said, I can tell you, it's a couple of them.
No, I hear you. You know what? We'll skip that one. What's your favorite?
I'll tell you, my favorite track that I had to rap to is an ICP joint. and it's probably a lot of people's favorite.
Right. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Right. What's your favorite Psychopathic Records release?
What's that again?
No problem. What's your favorite Psychopathic release?
It's hard to say because it's a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff, bro. I mean, I don't know because I'm on that record. I mean, it's my record, so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good enough answer, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, selfish plug,
Hutch, what about the juggalos who aren't quite on board just yet with your movement? Do you think that their minds will be changed when this record drops?
Oh, well, I believe so. I believe so because what I do is I try to stay true to me. You know what I mean? I don't try to, and I think that's what Juggalos is about, being true to who they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't, I'm not a guy, understand me? I'm not a guy. I'm a guy that came up hard, doing what I do, and I work for everything that I got. No one gave me anything. All I do is just put myself on the record, and I hope they feel it, So I hope they feel that I put myself on this record.
Right.
It's not a gimmick, it's not no slick little way. Me and Bon and Jay really worked hard on the concept and how to do it and our energy into the record, you know what I'm saying? Really going to show that.
Do you feel you can grow as an artist on Psychopathic Records?
Absolutely. I think the crazy thing about the project that me and him done, it actually, when you actually hear its entirety, it's kind of another stepping stone for me as an artist besides being on Psychopathic, because I think that what Violent J motivated me to do is to do fully me at Psychopathic Records.
Right.
He didn't want me to come over there and try to fit in being somebody else. He said, hey, you come over here and do this record, I want to do a record with you. That's a Cold 187 record.
Right. He didn't ask you to paint your face and, get into all that.
Not even that. He didn't ask me to do anything that wasn't normal, that was out of my norm for the performance level.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Everything that he wanted me to do, I would have done it at Westworld or Big Shot or whatever. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's great about him. He really respects someone's artistic integrity.
Yeah.
I think that's what people will respect about what I'm doing with Psychopathic Records.
Right. No, that's what's up, man. Let's keep it. Let's keep it real hip hop right now. Why don't you tell me what your top 5 hip hop albums are all time, and tell me who your 5 top MCs are.
Okay. Run DMC. Okay, well, let me see the albums. The King of Rock album.
Yes.
Straight Outta Compton.
Yes.
Did you say 5, right?
Yeah, top 5.
Okay.
So we got King of Rock, Straight Outta Compton.
Transparent.
Nice.
And it's one more. It's one more that I love to death. The Rocky Paid For. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Good choices. What about your top 5 MCs?
And then my consolation would be, I ain't gonna say it. It's the DDT first album, you know. But I'll put that in there, yeah. You know what I mean?
What about your top 5 MCs?
My top 5 MCs would be Blood, EVE,
Yeah.
Tupac,
Yeah.
Rakim,
Yeah.
and Chuck D.
Damn, I didn't expect Chuck D on there, but that's a dope list.
Yeah. Because you know, a lot of people don't know. I'm really highly influenced by. I'm probably highly influenced by Chuck D and Run. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I heard that on the mixtape with the Run's House joint. So.
Yeah. So my cutthroatness is like a Chuck D. You know what I mean? And you know, so you can balance the two. Like, you know, and the funny character comes from like EVE. So.
Right.
Yeah. So that was and the Run, my level of energy. You know, I always wanted to have the energy of Run.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
I was actually just watching Tougher Than Leather the other night, man. So.
Yeah. That's my thing. You know, they had an energy like Run, the swag like EVE, and the forcefulness of Chuck D.
Hell yeah.
That's kind of like my blueprint for being an MC. That's keeping 100 with you.
That's what's up, man. Who's your favorite artist of all time?
Probably I would have to say the solo artist or in general.
Yeah, in general.
Man, that's a rough one, man. But you know, probably my favorite band of all time,
right,
to me is the Ohio Players. I love the Ohio Players.
Damn.
My favorite rock group, like the epitome of me for rock, is the Beatles.
Right, damn.
I love the Beatles. Yeah.
What's your favorite Beatles album?
Oh man, shit. Now you're killing me now.
I know you're gonna say Sgt. Pepper, man. Come on. Yeah, I know you're gonna say Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
All right, we got a couple questions. We got sent.
I'm gonna say that. Yeah, that is a good one, but there's a lot of them, though.
You know what, man? It's for me.
A lot of records, man.
No. You know what? For me, it's a tie between Sgt. Pepper's because it really changed the landscape of music. But Revolver also set it off for the Beatles for me, man. Like when I heard Revolver, I was like, damn, it's on.
Oh yeah, Revolver, yeah. See, the thing I think that people don't really know about them is that, like when we talk about being diverse, they were influenced by a lot of shit.
Exactly. No,
blues, rock, jazz, they were influenced by a lot of shit.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean? Like the classical, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. They're most talented band in the world to date.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, hey, Barnett, come on. You know what I mean?
No, so hands down.
You have to realize, man. Like with influences, because like with influences like that keeps me like so musical grounded because I haven't even touched the surface, dog. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? For when it comes to what they did, and it's crazy because think about it. The people that we're talking about didn't have MySpace and YourSpace and and Twitter and Facebook. And,
right.
You know what I mean? They didn't have any of that.
Hell no.
And look how phenomenal they didn't have Pro Tools.
Yep.
Look how phenomenal this shit sounds.
That's right. It was all done on a 4-track. Or man, they used to record just in the studio, like them together. So.
Yeah, just like a jam session.
That's right. Yeah. Wow, man. Wow, who thought this interview would turn into this, eh?
Mm-hmm.
What another question we got was, when's Big Hutch gonna put it down in his home city of Pomona and do a show at the Glass House?
Well, right now, it ain't really too much been going on in the town lately, so I haven't even, I think once I get rid of all of this workload that I have, I think I'm gonna go home and do a show out there just for my people out there.
Right.
So because it's always rough, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's always rough, like in cities like that. And it's Pomona's like a city to where everybody know everybody.
Yeah.
And then what ends up happening, is that they don't like to put on a lot of rap shows.
Yeah.
Because, all that's gangster or whatever, and I don't proclaim to be, the biggest troublemaker, but, I didn't have my turn with the law,
Right. Yeah, man.
So
No.
people know about it, you know what I mean?
It's no secret, that's for damn sure, yeah.
It's not a secret, you know what I mean? So, if I do a show in my hometown, it'll probably be me. But no, actually, my old high school asked me would I do something else. Like, I'm kind of cool on it because of the way I do it, and because the kids and everything,
Yeah.
working with youth and all that. I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. I don't want to do it on Saturday. It'll be, they try to sell me on it. I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I probably want to do it at another location because. You know how that is, man.
Yeah, because your content's aggressive.
You go unconscious when you start realizing that when you work with kids and stuff like that, you're a role model when you work with them. And Coach Hutch is a little bit different than Code 187, aka Big Hutch.
Of course, yeah, of course, man.
So I'm gonna figure something out. That'd be great, man.
Are you gonna do a tour for this psychopathic release? Are you going to do a tour for the psychopathic release, or is it going to be...
Definitely, of course.
You're going to be at the gathering and...
Oh, yes, I'll definitely be at the gathering this year. If I ain't doing nothing holding the sign, I'm definitely going.
Dope.
But yeah, I'm definitely doing a gathering this year for sure. And then I'll probably do the Week of American Psycho tour again. I'll probably do that this year as well. But there'll probably be some things in between that I'll do. You'll see me moving around.
So we're gonna be seeing a lot of Big Hutch in 2012, eh?
There you go. Yeah, already. And I got a book coming out, this summer, so, you'll see a lot more of me.
Talk about the book.
The Psychopathic Assassin record is going to be really huge,
Let us know about the book. What's up with the book?
Oh, the book is called OG, since 1967. That should be, it should be out this summer, hopefully. I may have it, I'm telling them at the gathering, it should be out. So,
shit.
Yeah, so.
All right, man.
I've been writing the book for like 3 years since I got home from the penitentiary, so I've been dipping and dabbling and, putting my book out there already. So.
Damn, I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yeah.
All right, man, let's get into the final questions. I want to know, what is your proudest accomplishment, and what is the legacy you want to leave behind?
My greatest accomplishment?
Yeah.
Musically, will probably be just, and if I can say it like this, it might sound kind of crazy, just being here this long, after 20-some odd years, still relevant,
Right.
Musically. Or it's like an award, I would say, being able to work with the most, influential people in the business, as far as, when it comes to hip-hop.
Right.
What was the other part? The future, you say?
Yeah, I was saying, what is the legacy you want to leave behind?
Oh, well, the thing with me is that my whole thing about what I've always wanted to accomplish in this business of doing what I'm doing is to be successful and do you. You know what I mean? And I think that's the mark that I want to leave, is that I done me when I was here. I didn't do what a record company wanted me to do. I've never had to do it.
Right.
So my legacy is to show that you can come here and be yourself, stand on your own 2 feet, 10 toes down, and stand firm on what you believe in and do you,
That's right.
That's it. That's my whole legacy. That's what I stand for. I stand for what you stand for. When you wake up in the morning, be a righteous person and do what you want to do and speak what you want to speak if you got the voice,
No doubt.
That's my legacy, man. Yeah, I did it and said everything I wanted to say when I was here.
Dope. All right, Hutch, if you have any final words for the Juggalos, you want to let them know, where they can get at you, and also let them know about Rock Boy Radio.
Excuse me, what you say?
Oh, I was gonna say, let them know about Rock Boy Radio.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you guys can always, everybody can always follow me on rockboyradio.info. You always can follow us at, BigShotMusic.net. You can follow me, OG Big Hutch at Twitter. OG Big Hutch at Facebook. Also, Psychopathic Records,
Hell yeah.
I'm there. So that's all the basic places that you can find me, and just stay on lock. You know what I mean? Everybody, represent, man. Do y'all?
No doubt.
I'm just, I'm just here, man. You know, I wake up every morning and try to get an honest dollar. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. We appreciate it, Hutch. Hutch, thanks a lot for doing the interview, man. I appreciate it so much. Just stay on the line. I'm just going to cut this off real quick, and
Okay.
just going to say peace to everybody, and thanks for listening.
All right, peace, man. You know, and much love, man. You know, to the fam, man. You know, y'all stay up.
All right, man.